Hello, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs and cross watchers. This is your tarot reading for the week ahead whenever you are finding it. If you are watching this because you're subscribed and you're watching as I post, this will be for the week of April 8th to the 14th, 2024. And we start this week off with a total solar eclipse on Monday. So very intense times. No matter what energy comes out, just know that it's like amplified by a billion because of this eclipse. We also have Mercury in retrograde, which is nothing to be afraid of. I actually feel like Mercury in retrograde is a pleasant time. Mercury / Hermes are my biggest spirit guides, some of my biggest spirit guides, and I always view retrogrades for any planet as a time where that deity, that planet, is sort of going on vacation and refilling their cup and going within themselves because they pour so much helpful energy onto us for the majority of the year. And they need to refill their own tank. So if you just follow what the planet is doing and, refill your own tank when it comes to all things Mercury, which is communication, business, travel, okay, and just go within yourself, then you'll be fine. You'll make it through this Mercury retrograde. Let's dive into your reading though. I'm going to pull 6 cards, 2 rows of 3 from the After Tarot. They're all face down, so let's pull them out one by one together. First card out is the Tower in reverse. Wow, yep, starting this week off with a bang, I see. I feel like global tower moments may be happening this week if you're watching this when I'm posting it. Last night I was fast asleep and it started thundering outside and I woke up in a panic, and for some reason the first thought on my mind was, oh my gosh, the city's getting bombed. I don't know why. That was the first thought in my mind. And I'm not trying to scare anyone, but I definitely would not be shocked if there are these sort of big tower moments somewhere in the world. Okay, I'm being honest here. I'm not someone who typically predicts bad things happening. I ask Spirit, I ask Universe, like, I don't want to predict things like death at all. I totally shut that down because when I first opened my mediumship up on accident, I kept like figuring out when everyone would die and it was uncomfortable. So I completely shut that off, closed the door on that ability, and I also set the intention with the universe. I don't want to predict bad things happening if it's not helpful that people know this. And so I don't know why I'm telling you why there might be a global tower moment. Maybe it'll be helpful for someone. But I also feel this is your personal reading, Sagittarius. So there's going to be a tower moment. Now, let's talk about what a tower moment is and is not, because it's not that scary, guys. Tower moments are just when huge, sudden change takes place, and that change breaks down anything that is not built on a sturdy and strong foundation. Anything that's built off of lies, deceit, toxicity. It's happening. And we see this in the global collective right now. I don't know about you guys, but here in America, a lot of American child actors and actresses are starting to really come out about the abuse they had endured when they were children. And it almost, to me, feels like a second Me Too movement happening in the works here. And I feel like this movement is going to lead to a lot of legislative change when it comes to working the workforce environment and especially involving children. So that's an example of a tower moment. That's a very positive tower moment. You understand? Like, tower moments are not to be feared. They break down anything that benefited off of lies, deceit, betrayal, darkness, anything that was not solid. You can't keep that energy up for forever because all lies will come to the light and all of that shadowy energy will eventually come to the light. And I see a lot of that happening at this time. Some of you may be having your own story that you're sharing this week, okay? Could be sharing some abuses, neglect, anything like that you've been going through, either with one person or with the world, you know? You're breaking down the negative tower that you've built in your life. Honestly, I'm seeing, Sagittarius, a lot of you are breaking down the old version of you. You know, the version of you that was just surviving and having a dysregulated nervous system and just trying to make it through the day. That version of you is being cracked down. It's crumbling down. And I feel like you're speaking out on that, either to yourself or to the world. You are changing for the better. You're breaking down all of your old negative habits and beliefs. You are catching yourself when you start falling into a negative thought pattern again. And any lies, cheating, stealing, negative behavior that's going on in your personal life and with the people around you, it's going to be exposed at this time. It may have already been exposed or early in the week alongside this eclipse or whenever you're watching it. It's going to be exposed. And you know, that old toxic tower that was built on that weak foundation, that life that was built on that weak foundation, is going to come crumbling down. And that's a good thing. It's an intense thing, though, so be prepared. Really good, really intense. That is the energy of eclipses as well. Really great, really intense. Major changes that will change your life, but in a positive way. Yep. Three of Swords. Wow, I mean, guys, I'm not one to sugarcoat readings. If any tarot reader pulls out these two cards next to each other and they're like, oh my god, it's the love of your life, you're gonna be so happy, they're lying. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is gonna be a rough and tumble week for you because I honestly love it though. I know this sounds weird. It's gonna be rough, it's gonna be tough, but this is a great week because all lies are being exposed. All toxicity is crumbling down. It's a really great week. And I even love that we're using the after tarot because we see here the swords have been pulled out of the heart. Okay? You cut off the toxicity in your life, wherever that toxicity was, within yourself, within others. And now you have a bandage around your heart. You're healing that. Okay? Some of you may have for example, cut out alcohol, or, you know, someone may have been exposed to you as like a liar, cheater, stealer. Cut them out of your life. That doesn't mean it's not challenging and difficult. That doesn't mean it's not sad, you know. Oh, you were an awful person, but now I have to mourn the loss of the person that I was convincing myself that you were. You know, so that's the tough part about this. But it feels right, you know, and I feel like that's why, even though you're going through some sort of grieving, heartache, whatever, it feels right. And I know it sounds weird, but you're actually at a higher vibration this week than you were in previous weeks, which is why I'm trying to say, like, it's not as bad as it sounds. Because even though you're dealing with this difficult change, like, you're happy that the truth and light and love is prevailing. Whoo, Ace of Wands. Okay, a little sunshine on this reading that we needed. There's a new start coming in almost immediately after this crazy stuff is happening. Ace of Wands. I ain't gonna lie, some of you are in your more sensual and seductive energies this week. Let's just put it like that. Some of y'all are putting that sacral chakra to use. This is a new beginning that's so exciting. It feels so good. For example, this is a little crazy to come out right next to the Three of Swords, but I was going to say this could be some of you guys meeting someone new who you're really excited about, very passionate about, but I'm actually seeing for the majority of you, this is a new sort of project that you're beginning, and actually does feel more like a project, and you're really excited about it, you're passionate about it, and it actually takes your mind off of all of the crazy stuff that's going on in your life. For example, maybe if I had to give you a random example of how this energy could play out for someone watching, this could be like you just went through an awful breakup, you found out your partner was cheating on you, you caught them, you broke up with them, and you're clearly grieving, crying all the time, blah, 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 but you're like, you know what, I have extra time, I have extra space, instead of sitting here crying because I'm not in constant communication with this person anymore and I'm missing them and I'm feeling a withdrawal from them, I'm gonna, I don't know, build a deck outside of my house. I'm gonna do it all by myself. And you get started doing this crazy project, and you actually end up like going down a rabbit hole and like really getting into it, and it's just gonna end up so fun. And this is like the type of passion where you fall asleep at night thinking about it, and then you wake up in the morning thinking about it, like excited to start the day, so that way you can work on this project that you have going on. So I am seeing that, which is a beautiful way to cope with the more intense energies that you're dealing with here. That's called transmutation, honey, and it is one of the most powerful things you can do. When you have intense emotional energy, transmute that into some form of beauty. This is why some of the best albums and best music is created when the musician is in like the worst time of their life, all right? Some of the best pieces of art are created when the artists are so angry at the world or depressed or something like that. That's transmutation. Emotions have extreme amounts of power. So transmuting that into something positive is gonna be really powerful for you. We have the Hierophant in reverse right underneath that Tower in reverse. Yeah, a lot of Sagittariuses are going through divorce and separation, breakup, separation. Because the Hierophant talks about, well, first off, the Hierophant can represent marriage. So when it's in reverse, that can represent divorce. Also, when it's in reverse, it asks you to trust your own instincts and go your own way. You don't need to sit here and guilt yourself thinking, oh, well, what about the kids and what about religion and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, don't stay in a toxic situation for these weird indoctrinated beliefs that were imposed upon you from an early age. Like, if you're in a toxic situation, get yourself out of the toxic situation. Point blank, period, okay? We have Justice coming out. Wow. Yeah. If any of you are dealing with a legal issue, I feel like it might actually get resolved quite quickly and it will go in your favor. Okay, so if you're worried about that, why do I feel like so many Sagittariuses are going through divorce? If you're worried about like the divorce proceedings and like, oh, will I get what I want? I think you will. And I think it'll go by a little bit faster than you realize. I think it'll take under a year and it'll all be great, And I also don't feel like you necessarily need to overly invest in, I don't know, like lawyers and all that. I'm not a legal person, so you can't use this as replacement for legal advice, okay? Don't sue me. Anyways, I feel like it will go favorably, and I feel like balance and peace is being restored here. And I also want to say, guys, it feels like when we have these tower moments, we were putting all of our energy and love into the wrong thing, into something that was built on a very weak foundation. And naturally, the universe created that to, crumble down. And I just want to reassure you that all of that good, positive energy and love that you put into this that was not reciprocated and it ended up badly, that will all return to you in the future. Okay, it's not wasted. It will all return to you in the future. Because that's karma, baby. Okay? We have the King of Cups in reverse. Yeah. A lot of you are going through breakup, divorce, separation. And this is confirmation. And look at that, King of Cups. And in the After Tarot, he has like a nasty look on his face. And he's pouring his cup of love down. And especially in reverse, in any tarot deck, the King of Cups is a very unlikable person. This is someone who's emotionally manipulative and abusive. This is someone who tries to guilt you into staying or doing their bidding, whatever. No caffeine today, guys. I can't talk. And Spirit just wants to acknowledge that, like, if any of you are going through some sort of bitter end, okay, King of Cups reversed, Three of Swords, Tower reversed. I'm not going to sit here and say this is not a breakup reading. Now, here's the thing. If you're in a very happy, very healthy relationship, friendship, whatever, that's not going to end. That's not what we're talking about. This is literally anything that's built on a very toxic foundation. It's coming crumbling down. And this is validation. Like, yeah, this was very unhealthy. You're doing the right thing by allowing this to crumble down. Okay, there was abuse, there was neglect, there was emotional manipulation, things like that. And now you're in a state where you're going to heal that heart. Okay, you're healing, you're doing great. All of that love that you gave is going to come returning back to you. You have passionate new beginnings taking place for you. I think you're using your time wisely. So this is amazing. Yeah, I feel like this will be a new chapter of independence and self-sufficiency, efficiency. I need caffeine. Apparently my brain doesn't know how to make words and sentences when I don't have caffeine. Some of you guys may be having this tower moment because you quitted caffeine. I don't know. Anyways, thank you for joining me. Thank you for putting up with me. Definitely one for your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs to get the fullest overview of this week ahead. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. If you want a personal reading with me one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. I also offer my intention oils there and spiritual life coaching sessions there, so check it out. Bye-bye.